Hey all, do the cruise lines nickel and dime you to death once you're on board? Here's how to avoid some of those wallet depleting extras. So in today's video, we're going to dive into the often overlooked world of cruise fees, highlighting the common traps that unsuspecting cruisers fall into. You'll discover essential tips and proactive strategies to shield you and your budget from those unexpected expenses, ensuring your cruise remains both enjoyable and cost-effective. So whether you're a seasoned traveler or embarking on your first adventure, these insights will empower you to plan wisely and maximize your cruising experience. Make sure you're here for the very last tip, as this one thing has literally saved me hundreds of dollars each cruise. Some of these things we're going to be talking about are pre-cruise planning, and some of them are during cruise items and planning that you got to worry about. First up, beverage packages. This is really, each person has to think through this and decide if this is something that they want to do or not. Unlimited drink packages. You see the advertising for them all over the place. And if you like to drink alcohol while you're on a cruise, they might be worth your while. You got to do the math though. Each drink on a cruise, each alcoholic beverage, whether it be, a beer, a glass of wine, top shelf, double Stoli on the rocks. They have different costs associated with them, anywhere from say, $7, $8, $10, all the way up to $20, $30. Some of them will be included in the drink package, some of them won't. So you got to do the research, figure out, or talk to your travel agent, figure out what do you usually drink. If you're a Miller Lite guy and that's pretty much all you drink alcohol wise, okay, well then are you going to drink 8, 10, 12 Miller Lights a day for the majority of your cruise? If so, then the drink package might be worth it. If you have a glass of wine with dinner and that's it, probably not worth it. Do the math, talk to your travel agent, figure out how many drinks a day on average, what the average cost is. Are you okay with well vodka in your vodka tonic, or do you need Stoli Elite, no matter what you're drinking it with? Figure those things out and then decide. Spend that money wisely if you're going to spend it. Specialty dining. We all enjoy, well, I can't say all. Most people do enjoy a nice special dinner. Now, personally, my wife and I, we love the main dining room because we sit with other couples and we get to know them throughout the week. We have the same servers. We have the same people at the table most of the time. So we enjoy that. We don't usually do the specialty dining. Now, if you like the steakhouse and you want a good steak or sushi or Italian, whatever your favorite is, then it might be worth it. But know that you're going to pay extra. I've seen anywhere from $8 to $18 a person for some specialty dining, all the way up to $150 a person, depending upon what you're booking. Look at those before you travel. Figure out if it's worth the extra cost and look for discounts. I'm recording this right around Thanksgiving, and all the cruise lines are running Black Friday specials, not just on the cruise itself, but on specialty dining packages, drink packages, excursions, all of that. So look for those discounts before you sail. Internet packages. Now, there are some cruise lines where all of this is included at one extra cost per day. Princess is, as an example. They do, I believe it's Princess Plus and then Princess Premium or Princess Plus Premium. And, it's say $60 a day, and that includes the alcohol package. It includes your Wi-Fi. It includes a couple of specialty dinings. So you can theoretically package those extras all together and save some money that way. The first half a dozen or so cruises, maybe even the first 10 cruises that I went on, I never once bought the internet package. Part of me going on a cruise, part of the allure was putting the phone in the safe and not looking at it for a week, not seeing a text message, an email, a phone call, none of that. I didn't want to deal with any of that. I wanted to be on the cruise ship with the people I was with, enjoying my time. Now, times change, people change. Now, I always get the internet package because of this channel and, some of my other social media, it's almost required. So think about that. If you haven't cruised before, think about, do you really need to keep in touch? Now, if there's an emergency, there is a phone number that your family and friends back home can call, and they will get a message to you on board the ship. Okay. So if there is an emergency, they can get a hold of you. Also, some ships have free internet zones on board. If you go to what used to be called the ship's library, sometimes they had computers you could use to check your email, that kind of thing. Some ports, depending upon where you are in the world, they'll have, if you sit down and have lunch with them, they'll let you use their Wi-Fi while you're there, things like that. Overpriced excursions. We've talked about excursions a lot. Actually, just a week or two ago, I did an entire video about excursions and the differences between ship-sponsored versus independent, the ups and downs pounds. Me personally, I like to book my excursions early. I like to look for those discounts, for those sales, and book them well ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it once I get on board. I know I've got a seat, I got a ticket, I'm going on that excursion. Some people do like to wait for the last minute, and once they get on board, see if there are any discounts for whatever's left. Just know that 99% of the excursions out there are not free. Onboard shopping. This is a big line item, expenditure. A lot of people have to buy t-shirts and shorts and sunglasses and jewelry and yada, 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 on and on and on. The cruise lines know this, so there are special deal days almost every sea day, where if you go and watch this presentation or you go for this raffle for a free trinket, they're going to give you a 20 or 30 or 40% off of this bauble or that necklace or whatever. Be aware, everything they give away for free on a ship has got a hook in it, okay? So you're going to be asked if you want this extra discount, if you want to buy this, if you want to see that. If you like buying jewelry on the ship, have at it. If you like having Carnival and Royal Caribbean shirts and shorts and cover-ups and, all of that, have at it. Just be aware, they are not free. The cost for those things are going to get added to your account, and come the last day of the cruise, you're going to have to square up with the cruise line for all of those. Now, if you think that excursions are the only place you might overspend, wait to hear what's next on the list. Gratuities and service fees. Pretty much every cruise line pretty much every cruise line charges you a daily gratuity. You can prepay them in advance. You can pay them while you're on board the ship. You can have them removed while you're on the ship. Just know that those gratuities go to various crew members and arguably are meant to kind of make up the difference, or at least some of the difference, between what their hourly rate is and what the rest of the world gets paid for those same things. My wife and I, we always prepay the gratuities. We don't mind the quote-unquote forced tipping. We also tip extra once we're on board based on the amount and type of service we've received. Just know that, it's $15 to $25 a day per person, depending upon the cruise line, where you're staying on the ship, that kind of thing. You can prepay them. There's not necessarily a discount for prepaying them. The advantage is you don't have to worry about when you're on your ship. Because come that last day of the cruise, you go to your account to square it up and you see an extra $500, $600, $700, $800. It might be surprising to you. So be aware. Spa treatments. Spa treatments are pretty much always additional cost. Yes, they're enjoyable, and yes, you feel luxurious, and yes, it's amazing how you feel after a sauna or the steam room or the couples massage or the pedicure or the manicure. That's great, and as long as you're prepared for that, as long as you know that these things are going to cost extra, have at it. Sauna, steam room, some of those basic spa amenities. A lot of ships do offer those for free at certain times. Utilize that. Make sure you're aware of when and where and how. I priced a couples massage for my wife and I, and it was, I want to say, $150 a person. To some people, that's not bad. To some people, it's worth the cost. I just didn't feel that it was worth the cost for us. Neither my wife nor I are huge massage fans, so we didn't do it. Next up, currency exchange. Know where you're cruising. A lot of cruise ports, cruise destinations allow you to use US dollars. You do not have to exchange that currency. So if you're going to the Caribbean, if you're going to Mexico, a lot of times you don't have to worry about the currency exchange. Now, if you are going somewhere that requires currency exchange, whether it be exchanging to the euro or the Canadian dollar or whatever, do some research and figure out where the best place is to convert that money. ATMs on board the ship a lot of times will give you the option what currency you want dispensed. That's awesome. That's a great convenience. It comes at a price. Last time I checked, when we were on the Wonder of the Seas in February, I think it was $9.99 for any sort of ATM withdrawal. There are pretty much always currency exchange businesses right at the port. You're not going to get the best deal there. And I'm not going to tell you how to get your best bang for the buck there, because it depends. All right, Elio, are you going to jump up? There we go. Elio wanted to say hi. So depending upon where you're going, have that conversation with your travel agent or do some Googling and to figure it out. Onboard activities and classes. There are some that are free. There are some, whiskey tastings and wine tastings that are complimentary. Now, complimentary in that they want you in the liquor store, so you're more likely to buy their on sale bottle of whiskey. There are some that are for fee. They're fee-based. Most of the time, sushi making classes are fee-based. Wine pairings where you're actually pairing food with wine. A lot of times they cost. So make sure if you want to do those kinds of things, and my wife and I love doing them, just know about the cost ahead of time. Do some research, talk to your travel agent. You don't want to miss our upcoming surprise tip. This one thing saved one of my customers quite a pretty penny. Here it is, my big reveal. Photo packages. A lot of people love them, and I'm not disparaging them. I'm just telling you that in my mind, they are not worth. You don't get the value for the dollar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when you're about to board the ship and every time you get off the ship and get back on the ship and formal nights and various times throughout the cruise, there are going to be cruise photographers will ask you, come on, take a picture. And then they get your cabin number. And then at a certain point in the cruise, you can go down to the photo gallery and you can see all the beautiful, amazing pictures that they took of you, your significant other, your family, whatever. And if you want, you can purchase them. You can purchase them, printed 5x7s, 8x10. You can get an album. You can get a CD, DVD, or flash drive with them on them, and they cost money. They are not free. Yes, they will take the photo for free. They will not give you that photo for free. You have to pay for them. One time in all the cruises, I bought a photo, and it was a 5x7 of the family, and it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was $20 for a 5x7. To me, that's not worth it. So now I don't do that. If we decide we want to have the professional photographer take our photo, I'll make sure that I got a buddy or, a family member standing right next to them. So once we're staged and set the way he wants us or he or she wants us, my buddy is taking 3 or 4 pictures of that same pose, that same backdrop, that same everything. Doesn't cost us a dime. I have actually seen their photographers shoo the buddy away. That's fine. Stage your own photos. There are so many photographic opportunities on the ship you don't need to pay for. That's my bit on all the extra fees and how they nickel and dime you and how you can avoid them. So now that you understand the ins and outs of those extra costs, you're going to want to explore our can't miss dining hacks that will take your meals from average to unforgettable, because you don't want to waste your cruise with mediocre food. Dig in here.